the way they hate. And I know better than to listen to the people who are calling us slaves. I can feel the sunlight shining.
Well, good morning and welcome to episode 899 of the Lots Project Morning Show, where the coffee is strong, the opinions are stronger, and everything is always filter free. I'm Brian, your host, and it's August 3rd, 2026. This morning, I'm enjoying a fresh cup of medium light Brazilian from foodforestfarms.com because life's too short for shitty coffee. At Food Forest Farms, your beans are roasted by real human hands using a clean stream air roaster. More than just a customer, your family. Get 10% off with code LOTS10, and shipping is always free. While you're there, check out the C4 Club for even more awesome perks. Today, we've got another busy show. We're getting the cabin one step closer to off-grid life with more solar field clearing, and I'll share what I learned gluing down the floor, cheap vinyl flooring this weekend. We'll talk about the recent Coldcard security issues and what Bitcoin users should consider doing next. And then we'll ask the obvious question, why does it seem like the greatest country on earth keeps electing retirement home residents to run things? So grab your coffee, smash that like button, and let's get started. Good morning. Good morning. How is everyone today? Morning, Mike's Homestead. Thanks for stopping in bright and early. Rewilder Life, good morning to you. Pip, happy Monday to you also. And Hunter, thanks for stopping over on Twitch. My Twitch guy. Brazilian this week. Average about a bag a week, about a pound a week or so of Food Forest Farms coffee. And so yesterday I got them all up in all the bags up in the cupboard, kind of stacked out of where I can't see them, so I don't know when I get them for the month. I open the C4 package when it comes, and I look and see what I got for the month, and then I just randomly throw them up in the cupboard. And so when I finished the light Ethiopian, I think was last week, on Saturday morning, one of the two, I reached up in the cupboard and I pulled out a medium light Brazilian, and man, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. Got a fuller body, fuller mouthfeel than the light Ethiopian, but man, it's a good cup for sure. So talked about it last week, the incredible deal that the C4 Club is right now with the get the second month free. So if you're interested in trying some good coffee, man, maybe just sign up for a couple months and give it a shot and see what you think. Can't beat the price. I think it came down to $11.25 a pound for fantastic freshly brewed coffee. Head on over there and join the C4 Club and put in 2MF, I believe, is the two motherfucker is the code for second month free. But yeah, it's man, it's a solid cup this morning. It's episode 899 of the show, and for the last couple of weeks I've been putting a little time into kind of, I don't want to say restructuring things, just shifting a little bit on how the show is going to go, and the things I'm going to talk about and the way I'm going to do prep and things. And it might make my day-to-day life a little less, I don't want to say shitty. I think I'm trying to move away from social media a little bit more. So I'm going to try to talk about less things that I find popping up in the social feeds, and more about the cabin and systems and things like that. So we will see. We'll see how that goes. Hopefully episode 900 next week we'll roll that out. But holy shit, 900 times I've hit go on the StreamYard and talk to the internet. So it's a lot of times. And it's August already, guys, if you didn't know. August 3rd here, and ironically, I think this week we'll definitely get to see in person old Mitch McConnell, and it's just now that August is here. If you don't know why, that would be relevant. Maybe we'll mention that a little bit later, but August is here. The year is quickly slipping by. So it's 6:07 on August 3rd, 2026. Mike Homestead says wife's on the light Ethiopian this week. Well, that light Ethiopian, it's always a winner for sure. August 3rd, 2026, 8:07 Bitcoin price for the Bitcoin guessing game comes in at $62,671. $62,671 for the price of one Bitcoin on August 3rd, 2026 at 6:07. Bitcoin guessing game guesses from over in the Telegram chat. If you want to get in on the game, you can head on over to the Telegram chat at t.me/lotschat. At pinned at the top of the chat, there will be a post, and all you do is reply with your guess for the next week. The guesses this week, we didn't have a ton of guesses, and man, it looks like they might be quite a bit off. My guess up on the board here, I'm sticking with it until the bull run hits, and we hit that 84,321 again. It is locked in. I'm going to just be a loser for quite a while, but that doesn't matter. I've been a loser for longer than that. In with the guess of 67,324, Blueberry, Texas. Palm Tree in with the same guess from the week before with $66,666.66. Thesia, the Bitcoin Oracle, in with the guess of 65,300. Not this week, Thesia. John Palmer in with $65,432.10. And a guy, he's been on the tear between the Bitcoin Oracle, Thesia, and this guy, Pip. Pip, good morning. Happy Monday, humans. Pip in with the guess of $64,042.77. Not quite as close as it's been the last few weeks, but Pip in with the closest guess. So congratulations, Pip, on another win. You and Thesia battling it out. Definitely battling it out. Maybe I can get you guys a free cold card for winning the contest. Wah wah. Oh yeah. Anyway, if you want to participate and get bragging rights over in the Telegram channel, if you don't use Telegram, you really, I enjoy Telegram. I enjoy the group, especially our group. As far as the app and the functionality, it's just another messaging app, and but our group, we have fun time over there. We got a good bunch of folks, and I enjoy the community over there. So if you'd like to check it out and you want to hang out with us during the week and keep up with what everybody's got going on, share some funny memes or just do some general bullshitting, head on over to t.me/lotschat and check it out. So next week, August 10th, 2026, what will the Bitcoin price be? It was a busy week. Last week, talked about I had been working on clearing the solar field. The temperatures here had been and were earlier this week were just ridiculous. Still with the humidity. It is what it is. It's summer in Tennessee. It's not expected. Oh, every week, my little hard drive reboots here and gives it a little ding-a-ling in the middle of the show. I don't know what's going on with that thing, but it's Tennessee in the summer. It's expected to be hot and humid, and it's been in the mid to upper 90s and humid for, man, I think it started in June. So all of July and some of June, and now we're into August. It makes clearing difficult, to say the least. I'm carrying around a fat sweater and working out in that, and it's tough. It's hard to breathe. You sweat your ass off, and I really would have much preferred to get this clearing done in the winter, which was the plan, and just, things didn't work out that way, but it's got to get done now. I can't wait till this next winter to do it. So I'm battling through it slowly but surely. It takes quite a bit longer because I'm having to stop and hydrate, stop and rest, stop and catch my breath because the air is so thick that I just lose my breath, and it's a lot of physical work. So it's taking some extra time. And this week I was able to get to a point where I think this upcoming week I'll be able to drop some more trees. So the video I put out this week in the solar off-grid systems content on YouTube, the kind of the series I'm going to and releasing a video every week, was about the process I've been using to clear that area. Basically, cut down the brush and then or the understory, the undergrowth with the weed eater, drop the trees, limb the trees, get rid of the slash, cut up the trunks, move the trunks, all the whole process, and kind of walk through it and showed what was going on. It was a quick video. It was a little shorter than the rest. So I released that this week, and it was really relevant. I think this upcoming week I'll be releasing a video on the tools I've been using. So I'm going to walk through the weed eater, the weed eater head I've been using, my chainsaws, chainsaws, the different chainsaws I've been using for different purposes. I'm going to talk a little bit more about the wood chipper that saved from the scrapyard, and what I've been using that for. So just basically running through all the different tools I've been using. So that'll be the third video in that series that I've kind of shifted towards and got away from the Amazon videos over on YouTube. Those are just going on Amazon now. So only project relevant tools will get put up there. But yeah, so this week was basically cleaning up more. I'm in the cleanup phase, and I have just a little bit left, which I probably be able to take care of tomorrow, and then some more trees are going to come down, and the whole process is going to start again. I think I have 6 or 7 trees targeted for this round that are going to come down, and then they're going to get limbed up. They're going to gotta get rid of that slash and whatnot. One update on the biochar project, because this is creating a lot of material for making some biochar, and I've been separating it and kind of keeping it separate for different purposes, and one of them is biochar. Last update on the biochar retort, I had done a test run and kind of struggling with the fact that the inner barrel is bigger, or the outer barrel isn't big enough. There isn't a lot of annular space between the two barrels, and it was tough to get burn feed, like the fuel feed, in there to get it hot enough to pyrolysize the inside and make the biochar in the inner drum. And I was kind of going back and forth of different ways to handle this, whether to get a smaller drum for the inside, which I was struggling finding, or somehow make a bigger drum. I think it was Chris Dixon had commented when we talked about it last and wondered if I could just build a fire around a drum. Like, did it need to be contained? And I thought about it quite a bit, and I was like, it would help. It would help. But then I was in a biochar forum over on Facebook that I frequent quite often, and I saw a guy who kind of documented his build process, and he took 2 55-gallon drums and cut them so they're open top. He cut the bottoms out of them, and he sliced them vertically. 2 of them, sliced them vertically and kind of opened them up, and then rebolted them together in a bigger circle, and then he used a 55-gallon drum in the middle. So basically he made his own outer ring. The obvious benefit for that is there's plenty of room to build a fire around the inner drum. The problem I'm seeing with it is it's not very efficient. With the smokestack, with the setup, with the retort, with the enclosed outer drum, you get a really good draft. You get efficient burn. You get higher heat contained in there, and with the draft and pulling the air through, you get hotter burn. So it burns quicker, it pyrolyzes quicker, and it just works out better. But it's kind of one of those, is it really worth the efficiency when I have so much burn material, when I have so much material that I need to get rid of? That is it worth the efficiency of struggling to find the smaller drum? I suppose I could get some sheet metal and cut myself a new lid for the bigger DIY drum and put a stack in that. I could do that. I'm not sure. I'm not really sure what I'm going to do. At this point, I don't have 2 extra metal drums sitting around to mess with it. So we're going to continue to try to mess around with the retort. One thing that I am cleaning up this week, I started last week, is kind of the slash that was a little too big to go into the wood chipper, but a little too small to put in the split pile, the split and stack pile. So basically it'd be kindling, or I think a lot of it would fit in that annular space. So chop it up into reasonable sized pieces and drop it in, and that might work for burn material. So I'm going to definitely check that out as I chop that up and stack it up. It's going to be biochar fuel one way or the other, whether it goes in the inner drum to be consumed into biochar or the outer annular space to be consumed to produce the biochar. So one way or the other, it's going in there. It'll just be a matter of where what spot it fits in the system. So we'll see on that. But I did find that making that bigger outer drum would be an option. He definitely was pyrolyzing. He showed several videos of his setup, and in one of them you could see the wood gas exiting the inner barrel and burning. It was burning at a different color, so a different temperature than the fire that was built around it. Oh, happy anniversary to our fun little kitty cat. Corey let me know yesterday it's been a year since she showed up at our place, and we ended up adopting her. Thanks, Corey. Appreciate that. She's such a lovable little kitty. But yeah, you could see the wood gas coming out, and then he also has done a few batches with this setup, and after each batch he makes a video of the char that it produced, and it's producing really nice biochar on the inside. It's just a lot less efficient. So we'll see how that goes. So that's kind of the clearing. Use the log ox a ton this week. The grabber, the carrier function on it, especially. And it's just fantastic. Like I said last week, if the only thing I can say bad about it is I wish I had 2, one for each hand. So I really ended up using it to pick up one log. Instead of bending over to pick it up, I'd pick it up one log and put it over and cradle it in my arm and unhook it, and then pick up a second one and carry 2 at once, just to cut down the trips walking up and down the hill. But man, my back didn't hurt at the end of the day from bending over and picking up all those logs all day, lifting them up with my bicep, and my arm was way easier on the body for moving those. So if you got logs to clear, you got trees you cut down, you work with firewood or anything like that, I would definitely check out the Log Ox. I do have an affiliate link down in the video description. If you want to check that out, I appreciate that. And man, I can't say anything bad about the product, really. Made in the USA, small business. They've been very, very lots of contact, relevant contact. They're not spamming me by any means, but support. If you had any questions, if you have any problems, a lifetime warranty on it. So definitely reach out if anything goes wrong with the product. They're really interested in making sure their customers are happy, which is a plus for me. So that's really nice. So I only got a couple days in working on the clearing this week. Other than that, I had to, let's see, Thursday, Corey had off. We spent the day together, and so it's really important, I think, to slow down and spend some time with each other. Not working on the cabin. We did grocery shopping trip, and hung out for the day, and then Friday I made a trip. So we had looked at the forecast for this weekend, and this weekend was actually gorgeous here. Other than the rain, it did rain quite a bit, but the humidity kind of disappeared. Friday midday. Friday started out really warm, but the forecast was supposed to be nice weather. And if you recall, when we picked up our floor and got the glue, I ran into a problem where the glue, you needed to work with it under 90 degrees until it dried. And it hadn't been so far, but the forecast looked great, and it still does. So we went ahead and scheduled the install, the glue down of the vinyl sheet flooring that we've had dry. We had dry fit in the cabin for a few weeks now. Plan that out. So I had to find a 100-pound roller. And I think I mentioned it on the show before a couple times, but I was having trouble finding a roller, renting one. So vinyl sheet flooring has kind of gone out of favor as a flooring option. Everybody kind of puts in the plank or higher end type floorings. And so a lot of the places don't have rollers for rent anymore. Our local Lowe's here is small enough that they don't do tool rental at all. And the Home Depot closest to us, I don't know if the thing is constantly gone, but I couldn't find dates when I was trying to see the process of reserving it online. I couldn't get any dates. I couldn't find any dates that would let me rent it. It would just said unavailable. So I don't know if they even have one. And that Home Depot is it's a solid hour ish away. We go to Lowe's because it's way closer. So I was kind of searching for a roller. I called a couple flooring places. They're like, yeah, we don't use that type of glue anymore, and we don't put in a lot of sheet vinyl. We ended up getting rid of our roller, and I ended up finding a small. It's called like Handyman Rentals, about 40 minutes away in Mississippi. So yeah, we're in Tennessee. I had to go to Mississippi to get a floor roller, but found them on Google Maps. I just kept searching and searching for rental places. Look at their website, and this place had a floor roller, and so I went through the little calendar reserve thing, and was like, oh, I wonder if it's available this weekend because it'd be great to put that floor in. And it said it was, but when I was reading the description of the item on the website, making sure it was the right tool that I wanted to rent, the description was for something completely different. It was for like smoke sticks for checking for HVAC leaks and things like that. And so I'm like, I should probably call them and get a hold of them to make sure this is actually what I'm renting. And so I tried to give them a call, rang like 4 or 5 times, and went to a generic like computer generated voicemail. No information, just like a leave your message at the beep. I waited a while, got that same message, and I'm like, is this place even open anymore? Like, I don't want to put my information and credit card and everything in this website if this place isn't even open, and have them charge me and not be able to get my money back if they're not even there. And so I called a couple more times, and like the third or fourth time I called, some guy answers. He's just like, handyman. I'm like, hey, I'm looking to rent the floor roller. And this thing was like Wednesday and or Tuesday, and he's like, oh yeah, I got somebody picking it up this afternoon, but it should be back tomorrow. I'm like, yeah, I'm looking for it for Friday. Oh yeah, that's good. I said, well, can I do I reserve it on the internet? He goes, oh yeah, that website we got. Like, yeah. He's like, oh yeah, you can put it in there. If you put it in there, we'll definitely have it for you. But I'll remember. I won't let anybody take it. I'm just like, oh boy, oh, this should be interesting when I get there. So I do the reservation online, and it says, well, I put in all the information. I'd put in my driver's license and shit. So I'm sure if I stole it, they could charge me. And they rent all sorts of power equipment too. So I wasn't shocked that I had to put in all this information. And it gets to the end, and I hit submit, and it says, "We received your request. You'll receive an email once we process it." And I'm like, "Oh, okay." So I check my email. I don't see anything, and the next day I don't see anything. I'm checking like the spam and every folder I had, and I'm not seeing anything from this place. And I'm like, oh, well, obviously they don't use the website. Like, hopefully they got a notification to not rent it, but obviously they're not checking it. They're not processing the order through, and they'll probably just have to pay for it when I get down there and give them all the information again. And so Friday, I took off and I went down there. It was a nice drive down to Corinth, Mississippi. Went down through the Shiloh battlefield in Tennessee there, and down into Corinth, and showed up at this place. It's just like this little tiny storefront. And I walked in, and these two kids were standing behind the counter, and they're like, "Hey, can I help you?" I was like, "Yeah, I'm here to pick up roller." Okay, yeah, here it is. And he goes over and he grabs it, and he pulls up the computer and asks, like, what's the name on it? And I tell him, and he's like, well, you want to put it on this card? I'm like, yeah. He goes, driver's license, South Dakota. I'm like, yeah. He goes, all right, you're all set. See you Monday. Like, okie dokie. Kid took it out, put it in my truck for me. I was like, all right, this is cool. Worked out well. Roller was smaller than I thought it was going to be, but it worked well. Corey and I headed out on Saturday to install this, to glue this down. We had never done it before. Either one of us hadn't really installed any of this. We had it dry fitted. We had all our seams cut. We went through the process of making sure everything fit. We got the seams lined up with cutting with a straight edge, overlapped so they kind of fit down together tight. And so I had been thinking about the process for quite a bit. I had watched as many YouTube videos as I could find on installing the stuff, but they really wouldn't show me. I would search for videos on how to install this stuff, and they just wanted to show me vinyl plank installation over and over and over and over and over. And the ironic part is we kind of messed up. I'll talk about it a bit, but when I searched how to fix it, it populated more videos on how to install it than it would when I searched on how to install it. So I guess they figured out that I actually wanted to put in the vinyl flooring, the sheet vinyl, and not the fucking planks. But Corey and I went out and we went for it. We took the advice of the manufacturer's instructions. We started with the big piece in the main room for reasons of getting the longest edge done, so we could line up the other seams along it. We didn't want to put in a bunch of the three other small pieces and try to get the seam in line and then try to roll out the big piece along the three other seams. It just made sense that way. So we rolled it up. We did a test roll. We rolled it up and then rolled it back out, and it laid out perfect. We rolled it up again, and Corey, man, she said, hey, it looks like there's a wrinkle here on one side of the roll. And I was like, oh yeah, I was like, yeah, I don't think that's different, or I don't think there's anything wrong with that. assuming that it was the same as when we had rolled it out for the test roll. She knew it wasn't, and she didn't say anything, which I don't blame her. It's not her fault by any means. I should have listened to her more and thought about it some more. But we rolled it out. We put the glue down. The glue went down pretty easy. And then when we went to roll it back out onto the glue, it was crooked because of that little hump that she noticed and I didn't. And I dismissed her. So all my fault, really. Kind of went down a little crooked. Still close enough that it'll fit. Like all the trim will cover up everything. But we ended up with some air bubbles in it, some little ridges, and we used the roller. We got some of them out, but some of them were just there, and we went forever. We spent the whole day on this half of the one piece. And went on and on and on, and couldn't get them out. And so it was really disappointing that we messed it up to start. And so like I said, we worked on that, trying to get those out all day. We came home, and I kind of hit YouTube University, and I have a few fixes for it. I think we're going to be able to rectify the situation and get rid of the small bubbles. There's a couple different methods, using a needle to poke and to poke air hole out, using a heat gun to kind of shrink it down, using a barbecue marinade injector to inject more adhesive underneath it. So when you put it down, it'll stick down. So I think we'll be able to fix it. And if not, we've already discussed options of either an area rug over that section or even pulling that section out and redoing that little section. But after struggling on Saturday, we went out yesterday because I have to return the roller today. We needed to pound out the rest of the whole floor. We had planned on being able to do it over the 2 days. Now we were kind of on a time crunch. We took lessons learned from Saturday, and on Sunday we kind of rolled it out different. We made sure it was rolled tight. We rolled it out slower when we were putting it back, and it worked great. Sunday went way smoother than Saturday. The floor went down way easier. It looks great. And it's so unfortunate that we messed up the first day, but I think messing up the first day allowed us to do better on the second day. We ended up getting all the seams lined up really well. We did have a little bit of messing around to do because the first piece was a little crooked. We had to angle the other pieces, but once we got them set, it worked out the way we ended up rolling them up and kind of weighing them down. We taped the seams and did different things to keep them in line. And when we flopped them back down with the glue underneath them, they all lined up pretty well. We did have one spot that had a little hump in it from the first day where the edge was kind of buckled a little bit. And we were able to kind of get that taken care of too. I got a piece of weight on it right now, and hopefully it stayed down. If not, we have some options to get that fixed too. So all in all, day 2 and about, let's see, so half of the biggest piece is kind of messed up. The whole rest of the floor turned out really well, and it looks great. So first time doing it, it was I would say it was a win, kind of. And unfortunately, the messed up part ended up like right in the middle of the living room. So if it had been in one of the bedrooms, if it had been under a wall, if it had been where the cabinets were in the kitchen, if it had been where the appliances were going to be, or under the shower, or a dozen other places, it wouldn't have been as big a deal. But just and it's not even the whole floor. The whole section we put down isn't even the whole living room. Just where the bubbles ended up is like right in the middle of an open living room floor. So of course. But anyway, listen to your wife, guys. If you're doing stuff, take their advice, take their warnings, heed their warnings, and look at what we were doing. And if I had really processed what she was saying and realized that it wasn't the same as our test run, we probably would have rolled it back out, and it would have been crooked, and we would have figured it out. But man, we were just ready to go. So it is what it is. I feel bad, and I really hope it gets fixed, because I want that. I want it to be right for her, for this build we're doing. So first real mistake, I think, and we talked about it, and I think it's the first real mistake, noticeable mistake that needs to be rectified that we've made during the build. And I'm sure it won't be the last, but definitely the first one that we were like, fuck. But anyway, today I'm going to return the roller. Hopefully that goes smooth. And then this week, like I said, on to more, dropping more trees after a little bit more cleanup. Drop some more trees, and for the inside of the cabin, we're probably going to stay off the floor for the week, and then next week go into trying to fix those bubbles. Like I said, a couple different methods we are going to try, and then it'll be rough in electric in there while we continue to clear the solar field and mount the panels. Got a rough in electric in the cabin. We need to install 3 walls. Now that the floor is there, we can go right over the flooring. We're going to install 4 walls. I don't want to miss one. 4 walls on the interior is all, and get that electric kind of rough. And I think we'll, it's kind of it's everything is kind of linked together. So at some point we're going to need to build the utility shed and then install all the electrical equipment and get rolling on that. I think water is one of our things that we're okay on. We're definitely versed from going out and staying at Tim's cabin with hauling water, with living out of jerry cans and buckets. We do it when the weather's going to be severely cold here. We shut the water off in the camper, and we do that. It's nothing that we haven't done before. And I already have a rainwater catch system set up out there on the shed that fills a tote, and our tote's been full for a long time. So we do have 250 gallons of access right there at the camper that I could throw a pump on, or right at the cabin where I could throw a pump on it and kind of pump it over. Hunter says, is that soft storage building still holding up? Yeah, it's doing well. The second one, and I think the biggest key for the second soft shed, which has all our lumber in it, so I'm glad that it is holding up, is it came with tie-down straps. They were like wider straps. So the first one just had the corner stakes and little strings to hold it down, like tent strings that were just shitty. They snapped really when the wind tried to take it off or to blow it away. The new one came with corner weights, sandbags for the corners, and also a wider piece of vinyl. It was the same material as the shed, but a wider strap with actual metal hooks on the end that kind of gave it a wide surface to hold it down. And 2 of those. And so between the guide strings, the sandbags in the corners, and those 2 wider straps over the top, it's worked well. It did hold up to the ice storm this winter. I was afraid that it was going to crush under that, but it didn't really do any damage with the weight. So I think it would probably be a decent choice for up north with snow load, as long as you were conscious of getting it off of there. When I made it out after the ice storm, I did go inside and push the ice pockets out where it kind of draped in. But it's holding up well. The material is really good. It's not leaking. It's serving its purpose. But I do need to build a utility shed to house our water pump and filter and that type of systems, and then our solar equipment and batteries. And we're going to put a few other things in there, probably a freezer and stuff. So going to build a 12 by 12 shed on the same footprint as our water tank storage. The water tanks, I think, are 9-foot diameter. So we were planning on 12-foot square pad. And in the end, not starting out, but in the end, we want 3 of those tanks. And so we're just going to make prepare a big old square enough for 3 tanks. And then in that 4th corner, a 12 by 12 utility shed to house all the water equipment and solar equipment, batteries. And I think we'll probably end up putting like a deep freezer in there and some other stuff. So that's kind of the plan. The shed will probably be the first thing on that pad after it's prepped, and then one water tank, which will be rainwater collection. And then as we move along and have the funds and the need, we'll end up putting a couple more tanks on that pad, but it'll be prepped and ready to go when we bring it in. And all we'll have to do, I'll plumb the first one so that adding the rest of them will just be basically dropping it and adding a pipe to plumb it in to put it in line. So that's the plan. We were talking yesterday, minimums to go out and spend weekends there, minimums to go out and live extended stays, and then permanently. So I wouldn't say we're close. We're getting closer. So that's good. It's good. Lots of progress, and excited to have the floor almost done. I can say excited to have the floor glued down, and basically we got to trim around the outside and fix those bubbles, and then it'll be done completely. So that was good. That was a big progress week, and we got lucky that the weather broke, and because it's going to go back up over 90s, in the low 90s here for the rest of the extended forecast starting tomorrow, I think, or the day after. So we got lucky. The weather broke. It went down. It was long enough window, and it happened to line up on a weekend, so we were able to knock that out sooner rather than later. So sometimes you get lucky. Sometimes you don't get lucky, and that's the case with people that bought a Coldcard. Kind of go on to Bitcoin here and some major news. I started using Nostr again. Today will be day 10. About 10, 11 days ago, I started trying to go there every morning, at least to start the day. And I've been working at repopulating my feed. I talked about that back when we were pushing Nostr quite a bit. Is you got to be your own logarithm there. You gotta pick the people you want to see, follow those people, and your feed's going to be what it is based on who you pick to see. And my feed got cluttered with a lot of stuff that I didn't need to see. A lot of Bitcoin FOMO, a lot of FUD, a lot of just arguing about stupid shit. And I got frustrated with it and kind of gravitated away from the protocol and using it. So I kind of wanted to get back there. Like I said, talking about episode 900, I'm trying to get away from Facebook. I can feel Facebook weighing on me. So I'm going to keep it around for let it serve its purposes, but I think a lot less scrolling and a lot more posting on certain channels there. But I'm glad I jumped on Nostr when the news broke this week, because I didn't really see it anywhere else. But Coldcard by CoinKite, I guess I got lucky. I didn't join an affiliate with them, but basically, if you don't know what Coldcard is, it's a hardware wallet along the same lines as the Jade Plus, just a hardware device that was promoted by tons of Bitcoin influencers and people way smarter than me. So I feel bad. I don't know. I tried to figure out how I would feel if this had happened to Blockstream, which I've gotten plenty of email updates since this, what I'm going to talk about in a second, happened, and it shouldn't be able to happen with the Jade or Jade Plus. So if you went that route, you should be okay. But Coldcard hardware wallets had a security breach. So what happened? And they're still investigating how this was discovered. People are suggesting that maybe it was kind of an inside job, or maybe someone close to the company figured this out and kind of went for it. But there was a vulnerability discovered in the firmware that CoinKite used for the Coldcard wallets. Basically, there was a bug that affected how it generated seed phrases of new wallets. Instead of randomly generating them, it used some predictable processes depending on some information in the card. And somebody figured this out, which sounds fishy. It sounds kind of inside, like, I don't know, maybe somebody was using some sort of AI to try to find vulnerabilities. But basically, any Coldcard that was the models, the MK2, MK3, MK4, MK5, and the Q, depending on their firmware version, was affected. And basically, it was making predictable seed phrases. So somebody was able to go through and basically generate one, open the wallet in wherever they wanted, and move the funds. Lots and lots of people affected. It looks like about 594 Bitcoin have been stolen as of whatever last update I was able to find this morning, from about 500 wallets so far. And that's not even close to the number of people that are scrambling to move their funds to make sure they're safe. But about 500 wallets, about $38 million in Bitcoin, poof, gone. Gone to the new owner, basically. So if they generated a wallet using the affected firmware versions, man, it's a shitty deal. And I keep trying to wrap my head around, if it happened to me, how freaked out I would be, how if my stack was gone and I thought I had done everything right, which these people assumed. They followed the protocol for using a hardware device. Now, there was something that I saw that it kind of bugged me. There's options when I've never set up I don't have a Coldcard. I haven't never set one up, but from reading what you do to set up a wallet and reading what people were actually safe from this vulnerability, they had an option where you could use a random dice roll on top of so basically you could go in and you could take the easy route. You could just select create wallet, and it would create a wallet, and you went ahead and you did your thing. There were also options to use what they called a dice roll, where you would roll dice and it would randomly generate your seed on basically a random generator. So basically, if you were trusting that the new wallet was randomly generated, and then you were rolling dice to make it even more random, that was more work. But those people are safe. They're saying if you did at least 100, and I'm pretty sure in that software you could say random dice roll, and set a number of how many times to do it. It wasn't, you didn't have to sit there and hit it 100 times. I could be wrong on that. But that's what from what I take. But if you did at least 100 random dice rolls, they say you're probably safe. I wouldn't trust it either. I would probably move my funds, but at least they're saying that it probably was least likely to get compromised. So there were options. And I think that's something that we should all take to heart if you're in Bitcoin and you're trying to secure your Bitcoin, is take the hard route. Do the extra steps to secure your Bitcoin. If there's an option to create a passphrase, if there's an option to create an extra seed phrase word, if there's an option to do a random dice roll, if there's these options that you can do to make your wallet more secure and you're saving a significant amount of Bitcoin, take those options. Don't take the easy route. It's just like the difference between creating a hot wallet on your phone or going the extra mile to buy a hardware device and go through the steps if you want to use those funds to have the signer, the separate device, and do that. And if you're going to go through the steps to have an extra device and they give the option to do random generation, take the option. Do the extra things to secure your Bitcoin. Yes, it should have been safe, and it wasn't. There was an error made. But the people that went the extra mile because the option was available didn't have the scare of their life. Well, they probably did, but weren't as vulnerable and were way less likely to have their funds accessed. So that's what I'm taking out of this. But alert, if you have a Coldcard, if you're using a Coldcard, move your funds. Move them even to a hot wallet to begin with, just to get them out of that Coldcard so somebody isn't just plopping your seed phrase in somewhere else and just draining your funds. Move it to a hot wallet and then buy a Jade. Buy a Jade or a Jade Plus. Blockstream is kind of coming out right now and doing kind of helping with the situation and doing free expedited shipping on the Jade Plus. I'll tell you, I've sold more Jade Pluses in the last week than I had in the last few months. So there are definitely people scrambling to get away from the Coldcard. And man, I don't know. CoinKite came out and said, the company that made the Coldcard, they've come out and they acknowledged it. Thanks. They published a security advisory, released a patch firmware for the affected devices. Their guidance is pretty straightforward, but man, what do you do as a company? I'm putting myself in these shoes, as an affiliate of Blockstream and promoting something like this. I've had customers, people that have taken my advice and bought it. Several have actually reached out this week and said, "Hey, thanks. I'm glad I listened to you and went with Blockstream." And that makes me feel good. But it could have happened to anybody. I easily could have gotten an email from CoinKite that said, "Hey, do you mind if we send you a Coldcard and maybe you can make some content?" And there's no way that a creator or someone recommending it would have known that this was going to happen. It wasn't like you got it and you were malicious in the fact of ignoring a process or a problem or a process or giving bad advice. There was no way to know. So I don't think that they can help but feel guilty, even though it really isn't their fault, for recommending something that could have cost people hundreds of thousands of dollars. I've been assured, and I believe in Blockstream and their software and the fact that it's open source and people have gone at it and people have tried to find things wrong with it, that they're a solid choice. That and I personally use one. So if I lost my Bitcoin, I'd probably be pretty sick to my stomach, and that's why I trust them. You got to trust somebody, I guess. I guess you can make a paper wallet. Maybe that would be safe. But having that secondary signer in the Jade or Jade Plus, it's the way I go. Link is in the video description. 10% off over there at the Blockstream store. Code the Lots Project. And if you're having trouble with a coin card or a Coldcard and you need help, feel free to message me on whatever place you want to get a hold of me, whether it's Facebook, Telegram, any of those. And if you want to take it offline, I can give you my number. You can call me. We can talk in person or however you want to make that secure. I have several options on my phone, Signal and different ways of communicating that could probably be a lot more secure than private messaging on Facebook. But if you need help and you don't know what to do, reach out sooner rather than later. Please. I'd hate to see anybody lose their coins, even if they had gone with a different product than what I had suggested. So I really, that's just, I don't know, man. I don't know if I could. It would be really, really hard to deal with for me if this was Blockstream. I don't know. That would be bad. But in the end, there's no way they could have known, like I said, and it is what it is. It is what it is. So there's that. Ran a little long on that stuff, and I'm not really gonna have time to dive into my my rant I have written out here for about our geriatric leaders in Congress and even in the presidency. It seems like he's getting beat up pretty bad, health wise and age wise. I have some thoughts on that. Maybe they'll come out in another video, maybe a short or something. I don't know. We'll see. But Mitch McConnell had me thinking about this and the whole Mitch McConnell situation, and curious if this week we get an update that tragically Mitch has made it to rehabilitation, but has turned for the worse and unfortunately has passed away now that his seat in Kentucky is secured. I don't know. The dude's been out of work for over a couple months now, and no one seems to give a fuck. I mean, I guess there's a lot of people that care, but no one that has any authority to do anything is saying anything. There's plenty of opportunity and ways. Pip says, "What's the difference between Mitch McConnell and Weekend at Bernie's?" About 2 movies. I like it. Pip. That's nice. I mean, in today's day and age, there's 100 ways that he could literally verify that he's still alive. And the fact that they're doing the bare minimum and every single thing they put out as the bare minimum is also questionable. It makes it really hard to believe. Really hard to believe. So we'll see what comes of it. I mean, maybe the guy's alive, but really, if falling down takes him out of his doing his job for over 2 months. Should he actually be there anyway, even if he is fucking alive? I mean, the guy could barely walk. He couldn't. He would freeze up for minutes at a time. Does he need to be one of the most powerful senators in our legislature? Like, is there a time where you go, hey, you're done? You can't do this anymore. And why do we continue to just elect old people or continue to reelect until they die? Does this make sense? Are these the best people to be writing Bitcoin legislation? People that probably started out trading sand dollars? I don't know. That's just the tip of the iceberg for my thoughts on that. And we're at an hour, and if I went down that road, the dogs wouldn't get a walk, and I'd probably be late to return the roller. So anyway, we're gonna wrap it up here. It's at an hour, guys. If you like the show, could you share it with somebody? Share it with somebody you think would like it. We're going to be going in a new direction. We're going to be talking about more systems, both good and bad. The systems that myself and Corey are kind of straying away from in our new venture with the off-grid cabin, and then also systems we're building to take care of ourselves and move forward with that. That'll be more of the basis of the show, talking about the things that we're doing there, the equipment we're using, the processes we're using, and the reasons that we're doing it, the things we're trying to get away from, more than just random news stories on the interwebs. So share it along, guys. Check out the replay video on the YouTube page. And the new video format there with my weekly video update on putting in the solar field. We'll move on after that to the rainwater catch and those off-grid systems that we're building out there, how we're doing it, what we're doing, the mistakes we're making, the tools we're using, and all sorts of fun stuff like that. So anyway, I appreciate you listening, and head on over to Telegram, hang out with us for the week. Other than that, I will catch up with you next Monday.